Hey guys, since you finished your sketch early, let's go ahead and portion out your clay. So go ahead and grab your clay from your materials bag. Now, before you open this up and get going, I really recommend you give yourself something to work on. So what I think works well is wax paper, parchment paper, things like that, or newspaper. Even, it sounds weird, but wrapping paper would work really well for this. So go ahead and rip yourself off a nice little chunk and put it down on your workspace. Clay tends to get very messy. This will help make cleanup way easier at the end. Your parents will appreciate it. Once you got that down, let's get out our clay. All right, make sure you save your bag. You're going to want to reuse those. So the first thing we want to do is portion out your clay. So you have a nice big chunk. I think my chunk's a little smaller than yours right now, but same sort of idea. Remember, we are going to be doing 3 projects with it. So what I want you to do is kind of make sure it's formed into a little box. See, it's kind of rectangular. Does not need to be perfect, but kind of rectangular shape. This will make portioning easier. Then you've been given 2 tools in your bag. Probably at least one of them has a sharper or pointier edge. This is great for cutting. You could also use your toothpick. What I want you to do is look at your rectangle, have it wide side to side, and I want you to think about if you were to split this into 3 even sections, where would those splits be? Now, it doesn't have to be exact, but trying to look at 3 sections. We're splitting it into thirds. And I want you to take it and cut 1/3 off of it. Now, I recommend doing lots of little slices like this. Again, could be with your toothpick, could be with your tool. Little slices tends to give you a cleaner cut. So you got 1/3. I would also cut your other one now just to make life easier. You're only going to be working with 1/3 today, but since you already have that line drawn, go ahead and cut it. There we go. So we got your 3 pieces fairly even. I want you to take 2 of those pieces and put them away. You can have them touch each other, just don't smush them. You're going to use these for projects 1 and 2. So put them back into the clay bag you got it from. Squeeze out all the air. Seal it up tight. Make sure it is sealed. Double, triple check. You want this clay to stay nice and moist. The last one, this one, is going to actually end up being used for project 3. But I want you guys to use this one for your little playing around and testing of the clay, because this way your clay for your actual first project will stay nice and neat and wet and ready to go for next week. And in case something happens to this one, you have an extra week to rehydrate it. So that's why we want to use this piece now. So since Fridays are short days, you can just take some time and play with your clay. I want you to see what it's like. Get used to it. Try out the different tools. See if you can make something. Now, whatever you make today, you are not keeping. So you're not starting your project yet. I just want you to kind of get used to the clay. See what you can make. You've seen the little videos. See if you can make a pinch pot. See if you can make a little animal. See what you can do. See what this clay is like. Get used to it. Make stuff, squish it, make it again. That is totally up to you. This is your play with clay time. It is a short period, so you don't have a lot of time. Now, obviously, you're going to get fairly messy with the clay, so I ask that you keep the meat on in the background and nearby so you can hear me. So I'll give you a warning as to when it's time to clean up. So use time, try out tools, see what you can do. Just play around with the clay. Okay? Be a kid, have some fun with clay. When it is time to clean up, you need to smush your clay back together into a nice big ball. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just squishing it back together will help keep it wet. Then you've been given a second plastic bag. I want you to put this 1/3 into that second plastic bag. I only have this one out with me right now, so same sort of thing. Make sure you get it into the bag and seal it up tight. If you put it back in the same one, it's not a big deal. This will just help keep your portions different, or separate. So seal it up nice and tight. Make sure nothing gets out, and then be sure to clean up your mess. You could, if you have a place where you could leave this out and use it for next week, leave it and just work on it again next week. Or if it's in a place where you need to clean up, just roll it up, keep all the little dust bits inside, and throw it away. Make sure you keep your tools. I would suggest even cleaning them off. And as obviously, make sure you clean your hands. All right, enjoy your day to play with clay.